Hello, YouTube. It's I, Duke, and thank you for watching. On this channel, I talk about health, mental, physical, spiritual, financial, and any other way that pertains to living a better life. Am I some sort of expert at this? No. But what I am is just a guy who loves to improve, who loves to love, and loves to live to the fullest. So on that note, I would like to discuss the concept of surrender. What does it mean to surrender? Well, it means, at a high level, to me, again, this is one of these things that I'm taking a concept, I'm assigning meaning to it. This isn't something that I read about in a book. This is something that I believe. It's something that I have practiced firsthand. It's something that has led to success for me in multiple areas, most notably relationships and career-wise. So, what does it mean to surrender? I'm sure the first thing I think about when I hear that, at least that I used to think about, was we're fighting a battle, and if I surrender, I'm giving up. I'm giving up. I'm done. I'm done. Well, surrender in this context is a lot different. In this context, surrender refers to the act of not focusing on the things that we can't actually control, surrendering those and saying, I give up on trying to control the things that I cannot, and instead direct my attention to the things which I can control, which are my thoughts, my actions, and the attitude that I emanate out. And see, the thing is, it's so easy for us to get into these modes of thought where we have expectations, expectations for certain events, how certain relationships are supposed to go, how a job is supposed to turn out, how many years it'll take to get a promotion. We go out and we start a business, we think it'll take 6 months for us to get the plane off the ground. Or we think that if, you name it, if we do X, Y, and Z, A, B, C will happen. And the truth is that if those things, that X, Y, and Z, if the actions that we take tend to, more often than not, result in the outcomes that we want, that it is pretty reasonable to expect certain things. However, if we do expect them, and we stake our mental health and our financial situation and our safety, security, all of the above, whatever you want to name it. We stake those things, our self-worth particularly, on things that we cannot control, then this is what leads to so much disappointment. We can only control what we do in the moment. The events of 2020 are the perfect example of this. The worldwide phenomenon of the sickness. I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to refer to it by name, but basically the worldwide situation, we'll call it, in 2020. Perfect example of this. We as individuals could not control what happened at a high level. What happened, the fact that we were in that situation together. But what we could control was what we did after that. And a lot of people's economic situations were adversely affected and continue to be adversely affected. And we can't control what happens to the company we work for and their business model when a bad economy sets in. But we can control how many sources of income we have. And this is just one example, right? This is like the financial example. We can control what sector of the economy we choose to be in. We can control, if we have a business, we can control how our business reacts to adverse economic conditions. So focusing on what we can control, the actions taken every day, and not the outcome, is success. It doesn't mean that we can't be worried about results and we shouldn't care about them. Quite the contrary. I believe that results come as a direct they're a direct product of controlling the actions and habits necessary. But outcomes can be all over the place. And when we surrender to the fact that life is somewhat unpredictable and we cannot control the external, this is liberation. Liberation. So this all came about because this often manifests itself most strongly in a relationship where there's a progression of how a relationship goes. We expect our partner to be a certain way. We expect them to act a certain way. We expect, maybe like when we were just dating, it was all fun and games, but now we have a label and there's like, we're trying to control how things go because we're trying to control the outcome. We're trying to make our partner act a certain way when the exact thing that will make them act that way is the actions that we take and what we do and the amount of affection and love that we emanate. That energy will be reciprocated. And if it's not, then, well, again, we can only control that, and the outcome is just feedback, right? So anyways, very powerful concept. And a couple of things happen when you start to surrender. The first is that life is not so complicated anymore because you are focused on what you need to do here and now. Not worried about everybody else and what they're doing, what they're thinking, and what they're saying. It's all about here. It's all about the now. Life is less complicated. The second thing that happens is that relationships are better. Relationships are better because they're focused on, you're focused on what you can give instead of what you can take, what you receive. And this is all relationships. Professional, platonic, romantic, everything. And, if I had to pick a third thing that surrender will do is you'll be more at peace. I know I am since I adopted this mindset. And sometimes I get in a rut and I have to really reflect and think, you know what? I'm trying to control the outcome. I'm not surrendering enough. I'm not surrendering. So hopefully you found what I've said today valuable and you can take some of this and ponder it and that it's been thought-provoking enough to where you feel like maybe you want to implement it in your life. And I realize that this video hasn't been very focused on, the how, but that's for every person to decide. So anyways, hope you found this valuable, and if so, then please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you're feeling extra special. Anyways, have a good night, and until next time, I'm Duke, signing off.